The last 10 pounds. It's the 10 pounds that just hang on to you in those annoying places that no matter what you do, you can't just shake. You've been doing everything right, but then you get to this point where you just can't shake it. So what I want to do is I want to give you exactly what I would do, or what I have people do when it comes down to shaking the last 10 pounds off. Whether you are doing keto, whether you're doing fasting, paleo, you're vegan, it doesn't matter. These rules will apply, and it's more just about principle than anything else. You are tuned into the internet's leading performance, nutrition, and fat loss channel. New videos on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. I want to make sure you go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, and then go ahead and hit that bell icon so you can turn on notifications so you know whenever I go live. If you haven't already, I want to make sure you check out Thrive Market down in the description below. So Thrive Market makes it so that you can get your groceries delivered right to your doorstep. Never have to leave your house if you really didn't want to. You can go online, get your groceries in the same way that you would get them in the grocery store, except they're going to get delivered right to your doorstep and ends up being cheaper than the grocery store. So all of my favorite fasting options, my keto options, my hormone optimization options, all these things are all there. So I put together these specific Thrive boxes. So go ahead and check them out in the description after you watch this video. But now let's go ahead and let's get right to the fun stuff. Okay, so first and foremost, I have to touch on what you're going to do to stop what you're doing now. Okay? Even if what you're doing right now is good, I need you to stop it and do this. You need to have some form of leptin reset. Now, this sounds generic, and some of you might turn off the video because basically it's something you've probably heard before. Okay, leptin is something that communicates with your brain. So it's produced by fat cells, and it calls the brain, and it says, hey brain, we have enough fat on hand, so we can go ahead and speed up the metabolism. So when you are overweight or when you have more fat, usually it's easier to lose weight initially because you have enough leptin that calls the brain and accelerates the metabolism. But then as you get leaner, you have less leptin. And that leptin is not really able to call the brain anymore. So the brain says, well, wait a minute, I'm not hearing from leptin, so I'm gonna put on the brakes and preserve some of this body fat. And that's probably the situation that you're in this case. So the first things first, we need to spike our leptin, okay? Now this isn't like a trick, this is just to put us back to square one. Spike your leptin, and quite frankly, as much as I don't like to say it, leptin responds better to carbohydrates. So whether you're keto, fasting, or whatever, spike your leptin with a very, very low fat, high healthy carbohydrate meal. Okay, so lower glycemic, we're talking lentil pasta, we're talking chickpeas, we're talking beans, things like that. It's 1 or 2 meals, we're not talking a ton of it, okay? You need to get the carbs up pretty darn high. I'm talking like a couple hundred grams to spike the leptin to make it so that your brain starts communicating with your fat cells again. Now, this is not the purpose of this video. This is just to give you a starting point. At this point, this is now your restart. You are reborn as far as your diet goes right now. This is the rebirth of your diet. You had your leptin spike, your cheat meal, if that's what you want to call it. The reality is it's putting you back to square one. Now here's where we move forward. Start over, brand new. The last 10 pounds need to be treated as something completely different because the body is in a completely different metabolic state. What I want you to do is pick whatever diet strategy you're going to do. Again, keto, fasting, whatever. And only do that. And it has to be different from what it was before. I'm going to give you a hypothetical example. We're going to go super strict keto, and we're going to keep it leaner. I'm going to keep fats lower. Yes, you heard me right. Keeping fats lower. Okay, that's a common issue no matter what, is people have too high of fats when they're trying to shake the last 10 pounds. Drop the fats down 25% from what you were doing before, regardless of what you were doing before. 25% decrease. Okay, but the point is, don't even bother exercising. We have to start from square one. And what ends up happening is this. People a lot of times will throw in all the stops. They'll change their diet, and they'll also change their workout, and they'll also change their supplements in some last-ditch effort to try to lose a few pounds. And then what happens is they lose 1 or 2 pounds and then it stops. But the problem is they've pulled out all the stops. They have nothing else to add because they've done it all. Okay, we have to be incremental, we have to be strategic, otherwise what else can we implement? Nothing will work. The other issue that ends up happening is when you do all those things at once and you do have success, there's no way to measure which one gave you success. For example, if I started intermittent fasting today and also started taking a bunch of fat burners and also started doing high intensity interval training all today, and I had immense success over the next week, guess what? I can't pinpoint where the success came from. I'm left in this crazy world where I just don't know what happened. All I know is it worked. And how am I ever supposed to get data that's going to help me in the future when it's just this foggy world that I don't know of? So start small. I know it sounds crazy, but make the change to your diet and take a break from working out. Trust me, it will work. Then, once you start to see the weight loss occurring, and it will, then very strategically implement a specific type of workout in one thing at a time. So start with weight training with no cardio, just weight training. Do that for 5 days, 6 days, a week. Then add in a structured amount of cardio. Again, not in this nebulous world that's foggy, but add a strategic amount of cardio in. Maybe 20-minute segments 2 to 3 times per week. You name it. All you need to know is that it needs to be regimented, okay? This is how you shake these last 10 pounds. Then, once you're starting to lose the weight from that, then you incorporate a fat burner supplement like some carnitine or some additional caffeine. The problem is I put a lot of content out there, and sometimes people compile all of it into one lifestyle, which is cool. I want you guys to do that. But sometimes it makes it hard because you don't know what to extract and what to add in. And the fact is, getting down to the nitty-gritty and losing those last 10 pounds to get the summer body that you want, or to get on stage, or to get bikini ready or swimsuit ready, it comes down to just getting granular and data-driven again. And you have to start from day one. So leptin spike with clean carbs. You're reborn, okay? Forget everything you used to know, forget everything about my videos, and start from square one. Keto, fasting, but reduce the fats by 25%. Then do no cardio, no workout for at least a week. Then add the workouts in, just the weight training. 1 week later, add the cardio in. And I promise you, you will see a result that way because you are getting regimen. And lastly, something you probably never thought you'd hear me say, log your food and get regimented. Because once again, if you're not logging your food and you're not taking the strategic time in between meals to not eat, you're never going to lose the last 10 pounds. So write down your food, your breakfast, your snack, your lunch, your snack, your dinner, whatever it might be, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, however many meals you have. Write it down and don't eat a single bite in between those meals. Allow the insulin to come down, allow the glucagon to come up, and burn that fat between those meals. That is what is going to shake the last few pounds. I know this was simple, but it was commonly asked. So there you have it. As always, make sure you're keeping it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.